has 18 touchdowns so far this season. But if we're keeping it 100% real, we have not seen Justin Herbert prove to be that top tier quarterback yet. And so who do you trust more in this game? Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers, RC?
I trust Aaron Rodgers. And that's just keeping it a buck. If you look at Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, there isn't a game you point to and you go, yeah, that's on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has shown up in ways for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year that were unexpected. Being able to create in the pocket, improvisation, and pushing the football down the field, and finding ways to keep this team in games like the Cincinnati Bengals with big throws to Pat Freiermuth that the defense finds a way to go out and lose. And when you look at a guy like Justin Herbert, he still hasn't made every play that you need to make for us to have some sort of confidence in you, for us to have that trust in you. When we talked about early on in the year, through 3 games, I thought that Justin Herbert could be the MVP. I thought that Justin Herbert was walking on water, could be on top of the world. I said, okay, has he finally taken that step? And now, obviously, without Joe Alt and with Rashawn Slater being out for the period of time that he's fallen back to the pack. So when I look at the quarterback that I can trust, that I believe in the most important moments of these games, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, even with the lack of skill outside of DK Metcalf.
It's a tough one because I don't blame you for saying Aaron Rodgers. I just think that Justin Herbert, obviously younger, stronger at this stage in his career, is better. But in the same breath, again, the lack of protection is going to compromise him. I expect that to continue. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith combined for 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles last week. They showed up. I'm hoping something like that continues against the depleted offensive line in Los Angeles. It should continue. But when I look at Aaron Rodgers, I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers as the answer to this question, but not with any fervor, not with any strong degree of confidence, because he's averaging like 2.7 air yards per attempt.
Excuse me.
Crying out loud, which is the third. I'm just saying he is. I mean, he's just dipping and dunking and all of that stuff most of the time, man. RC, go ahead.
Stephen
what am I doing? What am I doing now, RC?
I have a question. As the patriarch of First Take, as the executive producer of First Take, is that a thing we get to do when we come on this show? We get to make decisions or choices without fervor? Like, we get to say without any excitement, without any convincing feelings that I make or this is my take? On the morning call, when they ask you the question and you give us one-word answers and then you rush us to move on, did you say this then or no? Because I got a problem with you giving a take with such lackluster attitude.
Well, let me say this. Number one, I don't believe in doing the show at 7:30 in the morning. Damn right I'm trying to get people off the phone. Damn right. You understand what I'm saying? I want to do it at 10 o'clock. I ain't trying to have a debate show at 7:30 in the morning. That's number one. Number two, to answer the question directly, it's First Take. Of course I do, baby. I'm Stephen A. Yeah, I get to do that. I get to sit up there. I don't have to do it at the same momentum with the same energy all the time, every time. I happen to have my resume, so I'm happy about that. I will go with Aaron Rodgers for this question, but I still find myself looking at them from a lot of times offensively, RC, wishing they were more than what they are.
Okay, so then let's take it one step further. We all think Aaron Rodgers, we trust more on Sunday night against the Chargers, but then who wins this game? Is it the Steelers or the Chargers? Different question. Cam?
You want to go, Cam?
Cam, go ahead.
You gonna ask me that way? I'm gonna go with the Chargers on this one, but I'm gonna say the reason why. It's becoming abundantly clear that the anchor on the Pittsburgh Steelers is not the defense. It's not the quarterback. I've said it since week 1. It's the amenities that Aaron Rodgers, Mr. Once we called him discount double check. He has shown that his play is still at a high level. And if it wasn't for the Velcro-esque route running from the receivers limiting separation, we may be mentioning him for the MVP. Hey, even at this age, Stephen A., you said younger, stronger, better for Justin Herbert? No, you don't agree with that, because one of the things that you know and I know, to RC's point, we've never, not one time this year, have pointed to Aaron Rodgers and said, bro, you lost this game because of you. If anything,
that's true.
We can say
that's true.
We've won games because of you, and it's not because of your arm. It has been because of your decision making and not putting the onus on the defense or the stress on the defense. And he knows that at his age. So when you start to really unpack and peel back the layers of really what's going on in Pittsburgh, the insufficiencies has been at the playmaking positions of the Steelers, nothing else, and that's why I would say the Los Angeles Chargers will win this game.
Cam, pull out your notebook. Pull out your notebook, because right now Stephen A. is disquieted and apathetic. And so I don't want him to answer this question, because when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, we already know he's going to be lukewarm, right? We already know he's going to be a little apprehensive. So let me give you the answers. The winner of this game is the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they have to be. Because Mike Tomlin is telling them during the week, what we saw before the Indianapolis Colts is unacceptable. The way that this defense walked out on the field and walked off of the field against the Cincinnati Bengals cannot happen again. 20 straight completions for Jordan Love can't be a standard that we set. That is not the standard of the Steel Curtain. That is not the standard of the early 2000 Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And in talking to Jalen Ramsey and talking to Cam Hayward, that's exactly how they feel. They understand they had to step up, and we watched it last week. And I believe that this week is going to be a continuation of that. And I reiterate all the points that Cam Newton made. Aaron Rodgers is playing winning football right now, and the rest of that locker room has to raise their play. We saw him do it last week, and I think this week is going to be consistent show of that 2 weeks in a row.
Who wins, Stephen A.?
So, well, I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this game. I'm going to go with the Steelers to win this game. I think that the Chargers have shown enough vulnerabilities for the Steelers to exploit. I think they will do it, and they will find a way to win this game. And I believe in Aaron Rodgers. I certainly didn't mean to imply that I don't. But when I look at Justin Herbert, I do consider Justin Herbert a stud. I do think that he's been compromised to some degree in terms of the lack of protection and what he's had to deal with. And I do think that on too many occasions he's found himself trying to play hero ball because he's trying to find a way to get something done. That's how he's been. We get that. Aaron Rodgers is making far better decisions, but he's always made great decisions as it pertains to him being at the quarterback position and minimizing the turnovers and what have you. Aaron Rodgers has always been that. We've talked about it for years where he'd throw the football away rather than throwing interceptions. We were shocked when he was in the Jets uniform and he found himself throwing interceptions that he normally would never throw. So we get that part. We understand who Aaron Rodgers is, but I do think that Justin Herbert is a stud. He just doesn't have the personnel necessary in order to produce to the degree that he's capable of.
Jay, I have a question for you. In that new contract you got, what does it say on the line when Stephen A. Smith is indistinct?
It doesn't have any stars or asterisks by there. I think I'm allowed to call him out on it, though. He said the Steelers are going to win. I'll give it to him, and I agree with you guys. I think Cam's drinking the Los Angeles Kool-Aid over there. I don't know. He's like, I like Aaron Rodgers, but I think the Chargers are going to win. Okay, on PTI they do like errors or omissions at the end. I think we have an error here on First Take because I guess we went back and checked the numbers. Unfortunately, the Steelers defense from 2006 to 2013 only had one game with 6 or more turnovers.
Bro, we didn't need to change that. Why we needed to fix it, though?
I didn't think we needed to bring it up either, but I think we always want to be right.
We needed accuracy.
We needed accuracy.
to be right.